Okay, artificial intelligence. So let me break it down really simple. Now, here's an official definition. It enables computers to mimic human thinking and learning processes, like how a human learns from experiences, make decisions on accumulated knowledge. Want. Basically, in its simplest form, AI is computers duplicating humans in the thinking process, in the creative process, in the analysis process. We don't see your screen anymore. Okay, let me make sure you should see something that says, what is artificial intelligence? Okay, let me,
Yes,
you make,
see that.
okay. And now I've just switched it. It should say with a definition. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's basically AI. It's basically technology that is now mimicking human behavior for all intents and purposes. Now, to my newbies and to everyone here, I'm going to talk to everybody, so I want to make sure I make no assumptions. AI didn't just start when ChatGPT got here. You've been using AI. You've heard of a thing called Siri. You heard of a thing called Netflix. This is my next screen. You're already using AI. Wow, what bad English for a guy with a doctorate. So anyway, Siri, Alexa, Netflix is what's known as more traditional AI, meaning it follows rules, spam filters, Netflix recommendations. That is voice assistants, self-driving cars. That is traditional AI. It follows rules. You know, your spam filter knows if it sees certain things, it may identify it as spam. Netflix, based on what you choose, it has algorithms and rules in place that it says, hey, well, it looks like you like comedies. It looks like that you've been using Netflix, not to mention your phone, not to mention your tablets. You've been using AI, I'm sorry, with these things. And, you know, spam filters have been on a while. So what has changed is AI has moved into what is called now generative AI. And it is derived from the word generate, because now AI is more than, you know, you can say a few things to Alexa. She's going to say something in a minute. And there's certain things it can't do because it's based on rules. It's based on a certain program. But now with generative AI, it can create things that are not there. So we are in the age of generative AI, where you can say, write me a blog post. Well, you didn't have it before, and it can write you a blog post. What it can create, and it's just up to your imagination. It's up to, you know, learning how to tell it, learning how to talk to it. So the big difference, traditional AI is good at specific tasks, where generative AI can create something entirely new. That's it. That's it. But you've been using AI before there was a ChatGPT. You've been using it before there was a Google Gemini. Now we're just in the age of generative AI. And there are a lot more different versions of it. We're still under the narrow, if you see me there, and I'll be sure to give you this presentation. We're still under what they call narrow and weak AI. Those of you that may watch the news, you've been hearing this thing called AGI, you know, artificial general intelligence. That's again moving into that next phase of it. And then there's, I think it's ASI, artificial superintelligence. That's the part that everyone's afraid of. So again, you know, that's for a more and more intense piece of, because they're so afraid of it because it's this ASI, artificial superintelligence. It's the AI that doesn't necessarily need us to input to create, where in these first two, it still requires something from us. So that's the one that everyone's like, oh my God, they're going to just take over and they're going to, you know, all that kind of thing. And that's the whole nother story I don't want to get into right now. Any questions on that? I'll pause. Any questions, thoughts? Yeah. Stop me if you have a question. Project Stargate. All right, I'm going to show a picture. I'm going to say, y'all favorite president, everybody's favorite. So no, one of the reasons why I think it's so important to learn AI is you may have seen on the news that Donald Trump and his administration is endorsing a $500 billion project for AI infrastructure in the federal government. So that's going to leak over into state government. So they're building something else I found after follow research this announcement. So they're working with, several companies. I'm not even going to go into that, but one of them is the founder, CEO of the ChatGPT company. And they're all coming together to build an AI infrastructure for the federal government and up to $5 billion investment. They've already started building the warehouses. The super warehouses is going to house these supercomputers and all that kind of stuff. So it's really important, y'all. It's kind of, again, the internet. You can't avoid it. You got to know this stuff. You got to know AI, and it's not as hard as we have made it, but it's coming. And I keep saying it's coming. It's here. It's not the future. It's already here. It's going to be injected into every aspect of our lives. So it's important that you understand how to use this, whether you work for, corporate America, you work for, especially you're going to be working for the federal government, or if you're going to be doing any type of entrepreneur or freelancing on your own. Now, what I did find out, and I thought it's important to know, because I don't like a lot of, and I'm not going to do a lot when I hear for any politics, but I want to be fair. In doing research, this process was already started under the Biden administration. These warehouses were already beginning to be built. And I think this is a good thing. And this is why I push even more that we learn AI. So I did mention, let me pause. I want to pause and just, I want to keep messing up. Please send me the recording I have. Absolutely. Yeah. And everyone will get a copy of this recording. All right. So I did say I had like a little treat. I got to show y'all this. I'm going to spend a few minutes on this tool, and then we're going to dig in. Google has a free tool called Notebook LM. So let me come out of this. And this is for almost pretty much anything you can think of. Let me share my calendar. Can you see this purple screen here?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Fred. So there's a free tool called Google called Notebook LM. Now it's a little bit like your own ChatGPT, where you can talk to documents, where you can download an audio file, where you can upload a YouTube video. So say you got a YouTube video of this. Okay, I'm going to put it out on our YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. And you like, man, I don't feel like listening to this whole thing. It was an hour long, and then everybody asked questions. I don't want to hear this. You can upload my YouTube link. It will transcribe it and say what you want to know about it. Let me give you an example. It's called Notebook LM, and it's free. If you can see what I'm doing, it is free. Everybody gets this if you have a Gmail account. So it says try Notebook LM. Loading your notebook. Now you can tell I use it, but I'm going to create a new notebook. Okay. And I'm going to just call it YouTube video. And so let me just find a YouTube video, and you can upload, and I'm going to show you in a minute. Let me just find a YouTube video really quick. I just want to give you an idea of what this is. This is amazing. I was watching Saturday Night Live. Okay. I'm just going to grab a video that I haven't watched. Well, that's true. I have watched it, but because I want to make sure I verify the accuracy. Here's one. Okay, so here is a video. Let me move that, by Miles Monroe. I was watching that, and it's called Kill Your Negative Thinking. So I'm back here at Google Notebook, and for those of you that's been around, it's a combination of, you remember Evernote or OneNote? It's that on steroids. If you added AI features to like an Evernote or a OneNote by Microsoft or Google Keep, add that with AI and put it on steroids. It's that and then some. So I found a video. So you go to add source, and you can click this button here, and it tells you can do a PDF or text. You can upload an audio file. You can do a website. It will crawl the website, but I've got a YouTube video. So this is my Miles Monroe. I was listening to him the other day. Insert. Watch what's happening. This is an amazing tool. I live in this space. So say, for instance, also, if you get For instance, if you get a credit app, you want to know what are they charging me, and what are all the things on this credit app. You can upload the PDF here, and then it does exactly what it is. So the name of this video is Kill Your Negative Thinking. Hopefully y'all can see this. If not, let me know. Let me make sure. Let me get back to it.
You can see it.
Okay. It's called Kill Your Negative Thinking by Miles Monroe. Okay. I don't have time to watch this, but it sounds like I love Miles Monroe. I want to see what he got to say. Well, first thing it does, it gives you a little summary. It also allows you, this is a window that looks like ChatGPT, but it also prompts you with some questions that you can ask it. How does negative thinking hinder personal growth? Okay, that's a pre-made question. Let's do that. That's great. It gives you from his video what to answer the question. But to say, you like, what are the 7 key highlights of this video? You can ask it different things. Oh, did I click that again? I didn't mean to click that. Okay, I'm sorry. I clicked my question. Let me ask my question. Give me 7 key points. Why does that keep bringing up mine? Hang on. Let me refresh my screen. So you give it a prompt based on the video. What are the 7 key points? Okay, that must be clicking something. There we go. Okay, based on the provider, here are 7 key points on how to kill negative thinking, awareness of thoughts, blah, 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 blah. You can also, to my educators, say you've got a document, or if you're doing something for your class and you want them to learn how to kill say you want to teach this to your class, you can say, create a course outline from this video. There's so many things, and I am only touching the surface, y'all. Again, you can give it websites. It can give you a study guide. So say you're trying to learn something. So here is the course outline. Here's a course outline based on the video, Kill Your Negative Thinking. Module 1, understand the power of your mind. Number 2, identifying and challenging negative thoughts. Yada, 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 yada. Notebook LM is amazing. It is amazing. And if you look here on the right, and I know I'm going kind of quick because I want to get down into what we came here for. Here's a real great feature. Say you ain't got time to be typing out stuff. You can create a podcast from it. Check this out. So it is going to generate, and I need to make sure my audio's on because you got to hear this and then we're going to move on. It is going to generate a podcast where 2 people are talking, telling you about this video. So it's a great way to listen and to learn something, or it doesn't matter if I was doing an application for my church. There was a grant we were trying to get. And when you're trying to get a grant, it's got 10,000 pages. I needed to know if we qualify. I uploaded everything. I uploaded links to the website, and I had it tell me, does our church qualify? Here's what we are. This is what we do. Does our church qualify? And it was able to tell me, yes, no, here's what you need to do, yada, 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 yada. So it's amazing. It's probably going to take a few minutes. I will come back to this because I want you guys to hear this podcast, this overview that was generated. There's so many more features. I am actually going to do a webinar just on this, and it's free. If you have a Gmail account, you can do this. Could anybody see any value in this? Oh, somebody said they didn't see anything.
Totally.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, this is, I'm telling you, y'all, I just scratched the surface on the use cases for something like this. But if you have a website that you're trying to interpret, or you like, what are they talking about? Or what does this mean? Or document, or if you got some text in another file, you can upload it and you can prompt it like we're getting ready to do now. And it can do so many amazing things. And again, and it's a free tool from Google. You get up to 50 sources. Okay, you found out how to view. Okay, got it. With the free version, you get up to 50 sources. And if you remember, let me see if I still share my screen, and then we're going to move on because I want to continue what we were doing. But I had this pause. So if you remember, if you add a source, it lets you up to, I have 300 because I have the paid version of Google, but it's up to 300 sources, up to 50, and you can paste stuff in. You can bring YouTube videos. You can do a website. You can do Google Docs, Google Slides, PDF. You can upload an audio file. If you had a meeting and you want to, like, I don't have time to listen to all this, upload it. And you can tell me, okay, what are the action items? My name is Jeff Robinson. Do I have any tasks assigned to me? And it'll tell you, yes, to Jeff Robinson, he's supposed to, bring the chicken, or whatever the case may be. This is an amazing tool that it's blowing up the internet, but yet so many people don't know about it. And it did, and you can keep notes. So imagine if I've got my personal, every year you do your insurance, and now I'm doing all of my physicals and stuff like that. I have all of my, here's the other thing, because I know if you're like me, you're like, what about security? I have all of my medical records uploaded. Again, think Evernote, OneNote meets ChatGPT. I have all of my stuff uploaded in there. And so when I want to know, well, what was my last physical? What were the concerns? Well, they said your blood pressure is high, whatever. It can interpret that. To that point, well, is this stuff safe? With Notebook LM, the good thing about it versus ChatGPT that we're going to go into in a minute, it is not trained on your data. ChatGPT, Google Gemini, all of those others, when you input stuff in there, it trains it off it. This is why we tell you, be mindful. Don't put a social security number in a ChatGPT or anything like that, because it uses that data to train, so it helps answers, other things for other people. Now, there is a way, I do believe, in ChatGPT and Google. Now, you can turn it off. I don't know that off the top of my head. But with this one, it doesn't train on your data. It only uses the data in here. So you can't ask it anything about, what did President Trump do now? I mean, it had nothing to do with that. It's only the data you feed it is the data it uses to answer your question. And it doesn't train on Google's system. So that's a security thing I wanted to share. All right. So let's rock on. Any questions about that? Again, I just did the audio podcast thing on my documents. Can't wait to listen. I'm telling y'all, it's still going. So, and it was a 30-minute video, but if y'all get a chance, play with it. And I want to know, I want y'all to ping me and say, especially if you're doing it while we're doing this, say, this audio podcast is amazing. Okay, it's done, but I'm not going to play it. We're going to come back to it. And there's an interactive mode that you can actually interrupt the podcast and ask questions. This stuff is amazing. So anyway, let's get down to what we came here for. That was just my free gift there. Free tool from Google called Notebook LM. I think everybody and they mama should be using that. It is an amazing tool. So I am back. So let's get going. Let's do some prompting. Let's talk about, let's see. I did that, did the table of contents, did that. Let me pause right here. Any questions? Okay, I was going to stop here anyway. All right, so let me bring up get my little notes here.
You have a question?
Yes, go ahead.
I have a Gmail account. How do you access the Notebook LM?
Sure, I can show you really quick. Sure. Let me share my screen again. This one. Okay, so this is a brand new Gmail account, so I can walk through it with everybody. Can you see it? It's kind of like got a pink background. It got Zoom on it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is a brand new Gmail account I created. Just go to Notebook LM. You can just type that in there. And you can just click Notebook LM. And I'm actually creating my Notebook account because I did that just for this purpose. You see where it says, welcome to Notebook LM, say, okay, bam, you're in. So create your first, let's go to create. And you're back to the window that you saw. So say, for instance, This is a notebook on, say you got historical documents. Ramon, you do a lot of history, especially on gospel music. And you got all these files on your computer, and you like, man, this would be good. Upload them in here. So you can say, I'll just use you as an example, Ramon. Chicago Gospel History. You can name your file, add source, whether it's a PDF, if it's a text file, if it's an audio recording of an interview you did. Stanley Davis, he was a historian for our city, and you want to save all this. You can upload it all in here, and you upload for free. I'm on a free account, so you see 50. Can y'all see this? Talk to me. I don't want to go too fast.
Yes.
Okay. So you can upload 50 sources. So that means website. If there's a website with some information, you can go there, upload the URL, the link for the website. If there's YouTube videos out there, you can go there, upload. I showed you how to do that. You want to copy some text. You got something in a document. You can blah, 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 blah. You can copy from here. And then once you upload the sources, it's going to provide a summary in this section here. And when you get in this box where you do the chat, this is the chat area. It's going to give you some questions. You can ask it, or you can say, give me a briefing doc. Look over here. And it's only grayed out because I don't have anything uploaded. Or give me a frequently asked questions. Give me a timeline. And it's based on all the sources you have over here. Now you may ask, well, what if I only want to address one source? Then, okay, let me just upload something. Well, that's a statement. Let me find, I got something here. Okay, yeah, well, I'm going to do this. This is my IRS filing for my nonprofit. I'll just use that. I know the subject is Chicago Gospel History, but just say, for instance, and just say I had 2 or 3 documents. Now, of course, it's uploading the document. You can select and unselect. It will just give you feedback on that particular document or sources that you select. Sometimes, though, if it looks like it's not working, you may have to unselect, select, and then refresh your screen, and then make sure it's selected. But you can select what particular sources you want it to talk about, and it'll do that for you. Does that help?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
All right. ChatGPT, let's get going. Most of you have a ChatGPT account, but for those of you that don't, we're going to start by creating a ChatGPT account. You're going to go, just type in ChatGPT, bam. And again, I'm walking through it because so you can at least get a visual of how to do it for those that don't have it. Most of you have this, so this is going to go really quick. And bam. And the truth of the matter is they made it where you don't have to give it your email or anything like that. I'm just going to do that. You don't have to log in. So I have a Google account, continue with Google. This is, again, I just created this account to just be able to do this. AI, how about the AI Takeovers? My birthday, sure. February 8th to 1950. We're just gonna, bam, we're here. So now let me follow really quick so we can bust a move here. All right, so the interface, let me walk you through this really, really quick. This is for my newbies, for my users. Just be patient with me. Give me about 5 minutes, and we're going to get into some prompts here. This is where your chat area. This is where you ask all your questions. Now, I am in the free version, which is what most people are using. I do have a paid version, but I'm going to build it from the free version because they have pumped up the free version quite a bit. But this is where you would ask all your questions. So, for instance, what is the largest city in America? I'm going to go down into the prompt thing. Largest city in America is New York City. Now, if you notice, as I started the chat, it did something over here. And these are going to be your logs. And you can continue, the conversation. Okay. What are the top 5 largest cities in America? Now, listen, here's something you don't have to do please or none of that, because especially with any version, you have tokens, and tokens are basically a certain number of letters, certain number of characters. So saying please, it has no emotions. It don't care. So you don't have to say, please do this, please do that. Now, if that's just your nature, that's fine. But just know you're using up tokens. Yeah, so just tell it what you want. You don't have to worry about being politically correct in that aspect, saying please and thank you. If again, you don't have to do all those things. Okay, so here's the top 5 cities. Here's another question. I'm going to come into a prompt formula that I think will help you guys. Which city has the best food? This is going to be interesting. I want to see that. I take offense to Chicago coming in third. Okay. Which city has the largest population of, and I'm going to pause after this, and then we're getting ready to, and you notice I just hit them, it just scrolls down. And listen, guys, those of you who use it, I do not get offended. If you've got a feature that you use that I ain't doing, or I'm doing something, say, hey, Jeff, you can do this too. I have no problem with that. So for those of you that do not have a ChatGPT account, does that look pretty simple? And again, this video will be available for replay, and I'll break it down into chapters. But Ramon and I think a couple more y'all, does this look pretty easy?
Oh yeah, I mean, I definitely use it for that letter writing.
Okay, I knew there were a couple of people who said that didn't have it. So the way you talk to AI is through a prompt. A prompt is basically text instructions. It's your questions, your query, blah, blah, blah. And so now I got a mixture of people. I'm trying to think of which route I really want to go, but I'm going to start with the basic formula for prompts, for doing a prompt. And then I'm going to take it up a little bit for my users that play with this a little more. It's like, you got to give them a little more than that. So the basic formula for a prompt is, I'm going to go from here to here really quick. And then we're going to do some prompts. I like to keep it simple. And I got this from another gentleman that I follow, the GCA formula, which is goals. Can y'all still see my window here? Yes?
Yes.
Goal, context, action. Here's an example. The goal is, what do I want to do? What are you trying to do? Context, give me a little bit of that. So imagine you walked into my office, say, I don't know, just say restaurant. You walked into a restaurant. Your goal is have some seafood. I mean, it's seafood. It's a restaurant, got everything. Well, okay, give me some context. Well, I think I want crabs. I want this, or I want a seafood boil, blah, 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 action, but make it with mild seasoning, blah, blah. So the goal, I want to eat at a seafood restaurant. Context, give me a little background, give me some details about it. Because, you can say, give me seafood restaurants, or give me a seafood dish, and it'll give you some. But the more context you provide it, the better your response is going to be. It's just like if you come in my office and you said, hey, I want to grow my company. Okay. How much are you going to get out of me from that? Just say I'm a consultant for businesses or whatever. You're not going to get a lot. I mean, it's like, okay, we can try this. Or it's like going to your trainer. I want to lose weight. Well, okay. Well, you got to give it some context. Well, I want you to know I currently just had knee surgery. Context in every prompt. Listen to me if you all don't learn anything else. Context is king. The better your context, the better the output. But again, think about yourself. If someone comes to you and just says, hey, Fred, I need this, well, he might can take off and do it. But if I say, I need a song that's for this occasion, for my 8-year-old daughter, now you have helped Fred fine-tune his writing or his music. or is this? So remember, context is king in any prompt you do. The more context, background, details, parameters you give it, the better your output would be. Think you. The more context someone gives you about a situation, the better you can handle it. Does that make sense? Talk to me. Or chat. Sorry, I accidentally unmuted. Oh, that's fine. Okay. All right. So with that said, we're going to play. Let's play now. And then y'all going to give me one. So I'm going to do a couple, few use cases under here. Then y'all going to give me one. And then if we have time at the end, I'm definitely going to stop and take some questions. We can talk a little more about some of the features, but I know we kind of went over a little more. And I will stay as long as y'all want to take any questions. The ChatGPT's got some really nice features that it's doing. I hadn't even got into GPTs and the projects and different things. And if those use Google, I can talk about those as well. So let's do some prompts. Let me show you. Here's some use cases. Let me bring those up. Okay, here's one. And these are, now, this is just give some examples. So for instance, here's one, a business plan overview. Okay, and I'm just kind of showing you in a, okay, so, and I laid it out like this. You know, you would probably, and I'm only doing this just so you can see the goal, the context, this. I will show you how we'll just type the prompt. You know, we want to summarize. Here's my goal. I want to summarize a business plan. Context. The plan is for an online platform that connects local farmers to urban consumers. Now, the more information you can provide it, you can say urban consumers in Dallas, Texas, you know, in Dallas, Texas, I don't know about farm, but you just give it more context. So the whole goal is, now I want you to write a concise overview that covers the market opportunity, business model, and strategy. You've given it the action. Now I'm going to point out some keywords because it plays a part. Again, this isn't even any programming language. This is just English. So the more you know how to talk to people, the more you know how to ask for what you want, the more results. There is no programming code or terminology in anything I'm here. You just came into my office and said, look, Jeff, I need a business plan. Okay, well, what is this about? Context. Here's the context. I have an online platform that connects local farmers with urban consumers. We're in Dallas, Texas. I really want to focus on women and other minorities, blah, blah, blah. That's the context. So can you give me an overview, you know, that covers what's the market opportunity? There's the action. So let's just see what happens. And again, this is just with some limited context. Can y'all see that? Can you see what's happening?
Yes, it's laying it all out.
It's laying it all out. Now you look at it. Here's the thing too about ChatGPT, and I want to say, yeah, in the free one. Oh God, I'm going to show y'all something really great. I didn't know this was in the free one though. So it gives you, you know, again, the great thing, and many people don't do that. You just stop right here. If you don't like it, again, it has no feelings. I don't like this. Do it again. Focus more on women and other minorities. See, we're talking English. We're not doing anything special. We're not doing any special code. You know how to ask what you want. It will give it to you. Okay, now I'm going to show you a feature. I do believe it's in this one. Okay, then it says, hey, would you like any refinements and additional details? I'm going to click. Oh, it does work. I'm going to explain this. Please use market research and other reliable sources in Regenerative. Question.
Does it allow for voice prompts?
Let me see.
Because the
microphone on the side. Yeah, let me hit this. Let me see.
Yeah.
I think it now that there's a mobile app that it will do that. You can install ChatGPT on your phone, but let me see, because it would normally be over here. Let me double check. It's disabled. Let me let that finish. So I hit the search button. Let me tell you what I did. And this is in the free version. So those of you that have the paid version, you got this and then some. In the free version, now it's going to search the internet for sources. And you see it provided a source where before it's only basing it off of its data source. And FYI, every chat or large language model, which is what ChatGPT, Google Gemini, all those are referred to as, it has a data set, basically a set of data that it has built off of, collected from all the stuff in the internet around the world, and that's where it gets it. A lot. Now, ChatGPT natively is not connected to the internet until now. So the search button allows it now to go to the internet and gets information. So yes, Ramon, here it is. There's let me see if this works. I didn't know it had this because I have the paid version, so I didn't know it had it in the free. So, it's advanced voice mode. Well, hold on, let me see. Hang on.
How close it does have this. We got it.
What is?
What's here?
Hang on. Can y'all see the screen? Can you guys see the screen?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Did y'all hear that voice talking?
I did.
So, what are the top 5 cities in the United States based on minority demographic?
Data. Detroit, man.
So you can talk to it. I didn't know it could do this in the free version. So this is good. This is why I love y'all input. What y'all think? Let me see y'all. Let me see. Is this something that you guys could use? Is helpful?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's a mobile app too. And I know you can talk to it for free on the mobile app. I knew that. I guess so. I should have assumed that it would have been. So again, I just showed you how. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Hey, this Kent. I didn't introduce myself earlier, but Kent from out of Dallas, and I work for federal government, if you will. My question is, how safe is ChatGPT? Because I actually just got introduced to it yesterday, as a matter of fact, which was strange. I had a coworker introduce it to me, and it did talk, and you could actually take a picture, for instance, of a plant and ask what type of plant it is, and it would give you all of the information about that plant, what it does, etc. How safe is when we're utilizing this in our business, the corporation, if you will?
So let me answer this, and so I'll repeat, and I don't mean it to be sarcastic or anything. You never want to, on a personal level. Now, on a federal level, they got safeguards, and there are safeguards in essence. But on the federal level, they're going to have safeguards and different things like that, and it's only going to allow you to put in certain things. Or if you are putting in patient information or social security numbers, it's going to be data that's going to be encrypted. On the personal level, keep in mind that, you don't want to be putting social security numbers, personal information, because it trains from your data. Now, there is a way, and I don't know it, and I will look that up. Let me make a note for that. There is a way to turn it off. I do believe in ChatGPT where it will not train on your data. And I believe it's the memory function. Let me write that down because I will get back to you all in about a day or so on that. But for the most part, again, be mindful of that. That you shouldn't be putting your social security number and different things like that in any like that. So, but other than that, you're fine to use it, creating. You can also tell ChatGPT. Thank you, Fred. So I don't know if y'all saw Fred's comment. You can also tell ChatGPT because it keeps it in memory. And FYI, anytime you're in a chat, to my newbies, it saves the memory of this chat. So you can you can ask it about something way up here. And as long as you're in the chat, it'll save it. And typically it saves it, I think, by default now in its memory. But as Fred said, you can tell it. And again, there's no special commands. You can tell it, remove the information from memory. Again, this is English. If you know how to ask for what you want, it'll do it. Did that help or no? Okay. I mean, be honest. If I'm not helping you, I definitely want to know that. Let me stop. Any questions? Any questions about what I've done thus far? Because my next question is, y'all give me something. What do you want to prompt? Remember, let's go with the formula: the goal, context, and an action. And then to my advanced users, y'all got to pose me some questions. I need to know what y'all want, so I don't go way too far or leave y'all hanging. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah. So I wanted to know what are your ideas for getting it to sound more like you? Like it puts out the answer, but you want it to have more of your. I mean, so I just recently did an exercise where I took some of my writings and I just uploaded it in there. But I'm figuring it needs time to like figure out how I speak, so it's just not kicking me out generic stuff.
So before I answer that, is there any of my users that want to address that, or have you done that? Because again, I would love the interaction.
I've done it. So I usually put more of what I'm looking to hear back from it the way I would probably want it to come back to me. That's what I put in the prompts. I put a lot of information in the prompts based on how I feel and what I'm trying to get. And then it'll give you a couple of options. And sometimes you just got to play around with the options until it sounds a little bit more like you. Because I think sometimes it'll say, do you want it to be more aggressive? Do you want it to be more this? And based on how much information you put in, it'll probably get a little bit closer to what you're trying to get back.
Okay. Good. I'm afraid I'm not gonna keep picking on you. I just know you. I know you, but I don't. You don't want to speak. You don't have to. Have you done it, Fred? Fred and I've been friends a long time. I know Fred actually. This is a long story. I'm not gonna do it, but Fred is kind of helped me jump in the world of IT before I really jumped into it. But Fred, have you done that to where you made it sound like you or any of that? May have lost them.
Jeff, yeah, you can. The more you use ChatGPT, it begins to learn who you are. And if it provides a response that doesn't sound like you can prompt it to do that. At the same time, if you want to sound like Oprah, you can tell it to give me a statement to sound more like Oprah, and it will do that. So the more information, that you plug into it, the better your response is going to be. And over time, it starts to remember. I've been using ChatGPT for about a year now, and I'm noticing now when I put information, when I make a request, it just remembers who I am. It's more of who I am versus initially it was just very generic kind of things.
And okay, since we're gonna do this, let's do this. So here is I gave you a introductory formula, but what I am hearing, and to my newbies, if it's too much, stick with the GCA prompt formula, which is the goal, context, and action. Here is the real deal with the prompts. And it ain't that what I gave you isn't, but it's a good way to help you get started. But to the rest of you guys, there's 6 elements of a prompt. Write them down. Roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can y'all see what I'm typing in there?
Yes.
Y'all with me? Caller, are you there? Did I lose y'all?
Yes, we see it. I see it.
Back there. So there's 6 real elements in a prompt. This is where you can take it a little further. Again, the goal, the GCA formula is definitely for my newbies. But if y'all feel comfortable, let's do this. And we can actually take our prompts better from there. And the rest of what we do can go from there. And I'm going to shut up because let you guys ask questions because I want to stick my part to at least 45 minutes to an hour. And I've definitely gone over that. Roll, you are a marketing expert with 20 years experience working with clients like Pepsi. You can give it a roll. Task, that kind of pretty simple. You tell it what you want to do. Context, we talked about what context. I have a music company that writes jingles for churches and non-profit organizations. I'm just giving it some generic content. Example, this is optional. I'm going to put this in parentheses, and I'll explain that in a minute. This is kind of what Fred and Ramon were talking about. You can say, sound like Oprah. Use my script from my lecture below to make it sound more like me. So you can copy a script from a lecture you did or whatever, and it'll read it and get the gist of it, get the tone, get the inflections, and you can tell it all of that. Format. Again, this is optional, but you can say as a spreadsheet, a bulleted list, resume format. That's the output. How do you want it? Again, and that's optional because typically once it understands the role and the task and the context, helps it kind of decide. But you can tell it, I want it in a resume format. I want it as a professional summary for LinkedIn. I want it as a video script or format as a podcast script, video script, blah, 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 like that. Create a marketing, I'm going to do that, strategy for social media. Let's just do it. I have a music company that writes jingles for churches and nonprofits. Oh, and it's also good to put the audience. The primary audience consists of adults age 18 through 55. And now the example is if there is something out there that you want, it's like, this is how I want you to do it. Or if you actually have a structure, I need you to do it just like Coca-Cola did this situation. I want you to do it. If you give it an example, if you're requesting assistance with no marketing report, you can request it to be from a perspective of a talk media. Right. Absolutely. You see what Fred put in there? Thank y'all. That's what I want. So again, these are optional. Tone is optional. You can say angry tone, happy tone, sad, happy, whatever. Format, it typically will, but you gotta, what do we talk about? You gotta have context in the task. And the role is, I say it's important, but you can do without it and still give relatively decent. And the role is basically, who is the person you would talk to if you were going to pay someone and go in their office? Who would that be? If it's a finance thing, you would be like, you are an accounting expert or you are a tax strategist. If you tell it to give it that role, it grabs all the data from the internet that any tax strategist, that expert has ever put out there in the world, and it now takes on that position. So it almost kind of like does the chameleon thing. It can, if you tell me I'm a marketing expert, okay, I'm going to grab everything in the world that's out there, that's in my data set. And if I'm connected to the internet, that's out there about marketing experts, or you can say you're a marketing expert like blah, 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 blah. It's going to grab everything related to that person. Now it is taken on, it's on that role, that persona. So now your response is going to be even more fine-tuned because you've told him who he is. Let me pause. Does that make sense? Oh, y'all getting quiet. Did I go too far?
No, that actually makes sense. You're specifying what you're looking for.
Okay. Y'all give me a prompt. You got to give me, so since we like it, we can either do the GCA format. Now tell me what you want to do something, and then we're going to formulate the prompt together. What y'all want to do? You want to put in, I don't know what y'all want to do. I got like 30 different things. I could do some more of that, or I would really love it from y'all because that would kind of help me understand that you're kind of feeling it, you're getting it, and you're just not sitting here talking to me. You can give me something from one of y'all companies. We can do that.
Why don't you put one in to have it tell us about Dr. Jeff Robinson? Because there's a lot of information on the internet about you. And that'll give people an idea of what it can do based on what's out there.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but okay. Well, okay. You know what? Let's do this for these AI sessions. So I want to. Okay. So you are a marketing specialist, and you could stop there, but I like to provide a little more to it. With 20 years experience promoting entrepreneurs and SMBs, which are small and medium-sized businesses. Company called J. Rob United, and I host a monthly free webinar on The AI Takeover podcasting. Okay. AI Takeover that helps people and companies learn to use AI. Okay. So I have a role. I have a little context. It's just a little bit. Now the task, it's not, isn't it? And if I hit enter right here, so just say if I don't give it a task, it's searching the web. It better not come up with nothing crazy about me. Now, I didn't even really give it a task yet, but it's already providing recommendations. Now, again, you walked into somebody's office who's a marketing expert, you just say, man, I got this company and and I'm doing these free webinars, and they just jump in and say, well, yeah, you know what you should do? You should do this, you should do this, you do that, do that, do that, do that. And then you can get down, okay, and it gave me some really good thing. It says, to enhance the reach and impact of your webinar, consider this, Jeff: audience engagement and feedback, collect testimonials, which I am going to do, send y'all a link after this, interactive sessions, incorporate Q&A segments. These are actually some good ideas. Content diversification, case studies, real world examples, guest speakers, marketing and outreach. So it's already given me some advice, and I haven't even really gotten down to what I wanted to do. What I want to do is give me 7 days of social media for Facebook. But it's already given me something, and it has provided me with a link and a resource. And I just gave it a role in context, and it took off from there. So, okay, cool. This is great. Now give me 7 days of social media content for Facebook. And I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that. IG, and also Twitter, wherever now announce this fake there. And I'm going to tell you why I specifically, why don't you think I specifically singled out Twitter? Does anybody have an idea? And because I said and Twitter, I could have just said social media, but if I did that, and I'll explain why. Because Twitter has a character limit, where Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn has a longer limit. So if I just say social media, it typically will do it for Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram, which you can have, I think, 5,000 characters or something like that. You have much longer. Then you have to tweak it down for Twitter. So you want to specify when you're telling it to do social media, you can say Facebook, Instagram, or you can say social media and Twitter. And then it'll know to get the rest of them, that you can have a long one. And if you notice, Twitter one is a little shorter because Twitter has a character limit. And if it doesn't do it like you want it, you can say, keep to the character limit of Twitter, which I think is 280. I'm not sure. I think may have changed. But okay, so now we're promoting the AI Takeover. It's giving me 7 days of social media contents along with additional tips. Okay, how about now I'll create a video. You can also tell it how many characters you need. Thank you, Fred. So did y'all see what Fred put down here? You can also tell it how many characters you need in the response to be. That's part of that format. Remember, there was 6. There was a role, task, context, example, tone, format. That's part of the output. So you can tell it, write me a 500-word blog post. That's part of the formatting, because you're saying it's a blog post and you're giving it parameters for the output. So you can also tell it how many characters you want it to be. So now, I got this little AI video tool, which I will, I'll spend some time on at another time if you guys want. Role, beginner, real estate, task, find a list of homes in Nashville, Tennessee. Context, find single family homes. Okay, yeah. Tone, sounds like I'm preparing a business proposal. Format, okay, let's try that. I'm going to do that. So matter of fact, I'm going to copy. Thank you, Robert. You got it. You got the idea. And then I'm going to show you guys a tip, and I've gone way over, and I apologize. Thank y'all for still here. I'm hoping it's helpful. I'm going to show you a tip. I'm so mad. I went to bed at 3. That's all right, Queenie. I'm always here for you. So let me take Robert's. I like what Robert's doing. So what I'm going to add to this is, so say you want to do a video. You can do this for your church. You can do this for your business. You can do this to promote an event. But let's just say now I got my social media contact for J Rob United, the AI thing. Now I'm going to say, now create a video script to use, just not create a video script to promote the upcoming February 8th, February 8th webinar at 8:30 a.m. And to my podcasters, you can specify in a podcast format so it can give you the segues. I want to know how to create an audiobook. Ooh, using my dad's voice. Ooh, okay. Y'all playing. So you see this video script? I need to make sure y'all still there. Can y'all just type in or say something? I want to make sure, because I'll get on a tangent and want to make sure. But it's giving you now a video script. Hello, innovators. I'm Jeff Robinson from J Rob United. I'm thrilled to invite you to our upcoming free webinar, the AI Takeover, happening on February 8th at blah, 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 blah. I'm here and I'm following. Okay. So I'm going to use Robert's example here, and then I'm going to shut up. I'm going to use Robert's example. I'm going to show you how to prompt when you don't know what to prompt. What do you do when you don't know what to do? And let's try. Actually, I'm going to try to copy it just as you said. Let's see, format. Here's where knowing the industry help. Now, if anybody here is in real estate, what are those? What kind of reports do y'all get? Because if you have experience in a particular industry, it helps you prompt better. So, for instance, for a musician, you would say, score sheet music. I forgot, Lord, I ain't played in a long time, but whatever that's called, my musicians, y'all know that's a format. And so I'll just come up with something. So the beginner real estate, and so you would say, Robert, you want to say, I want to do it like this. Let's see how I say the words. I've never done it where I had those titles like that. Role, beginner real estate, finalist. Okay, there it goes. Because you can say you are a beginner real estate investor, blah, blah, blah. But this works too. Okay. Wow, it's finding some homes here. And you can just stop it. So here's the thing. I want to show you this. And then I'm going to shut up and take questions or whatever you need me to do. If you're ready to go, whatever. This has been good. And I'm hoping this has been helpful for you guys. When you don't know what to ask it, make it ask you. I need to create I need to figure out what I want for dinner. I need to create a business plan for my new company, J Rob. You don't know what else to do. You know what you need. So ask me 5 to 10 probing questions until you're comfortable that you can complete this task. Make it ask you. Y'all see this? So it's like, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Make it ask you. This is what I need to do. Ask me. You can say, this is what I need to do. I don't know what to do next. Ask me questions. I would say limit it to like 5 or 10 because it will ask you 20 questions, and that's fine if you're okay with that. But so now all I got to do is, and this is to all y'all. So, okay, to answer, I go 1, come in, what is the core mission of J Rob United? Help. I'm just going to do maybe 1, just 2 questions at the most. Help people learn AI. 2, and I know there's 2 parts of it. I'm just going to do that. Market analysis. What constitutes your target audience or customer base? Adults, ages 18 through 65. Now, let's just say, I'm not getting ready to answer all these questions. Give me something now. Please proceed with your response. So I just didn't feel like answering all those questions. So you can tell it, look, I'm not answering all those questions. Just give me a response off what I gave. And you could have said just like that. I'm not answering all these questions. Give me a response off what I gave you. You could tell it that, and it will do it. But I would recommend answering the questions. But so when you don't know what to do, make it ask you. When you don't know what to do, make it ask you. I have this situation. I really don't know what to do. I like to say words like probing because it will, again, you're talking to a smart genius. If you say, ask me probing questions or qualifying questions, if I ask Robert probing questions, it's different from asking questions. I'm just asking general questions. Now my intention is to pick from him information so I can do this task. So certain words like that play. It says write a concise. If you saw earlier, concise is more condensed. Then you can say a comprehensive. You can say detailed, all that. But again, the better the English language, the better it gets out. Now I'm gonna shut up. Y'all talk to me. Does this make any sense? Has this helped? I got a lot more, but we've definitely gone over our time. You tell me what I want to hear your feedback, and I will be doing more of these. Here's a couple things I need from you, and I'm shutting up for real. I keep saying that I'm like a Baptist preacher. I want to know your feedback from what you saw today, how helpful it'll be, and y'all tell me what you want to do going forward, and I'll set it up. And I can do some sessions on something in particular. I will be doing, so that sessions specifically on how to design a website with AI and podcasting. So for those of you that want to know about that, I've got some sessions coming up that are specifically on those topics. But let me know what you feel about. Give me your feedback, y'all, on what you heard today. Again, we went way over the time I wanted. I hope it was helpful. Talk to me. I need y'all. Turn on your mic. Somebody say something. I need a little validation here.
Even though I'm late. Yeah, it was helpful. I learned some different things today. Thank you.
Okay. Go ahead. Even though you're late, Queenie, what'd you say?
Even though I'm late. Go ahead, GD. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me. He was talking to me. So go ahead. So I learned something new about the notebook alien. I never heard of that. The only thing I wanted to learn for my podcasting is how I can get a voiceover to read the content so that I can be freed up from doing all of that.
Yeah. So what I'll do is, everybody that signed up, I'm going to send you some information. 11 Labs is a tool that's amazing for voiceover. It is one of the best, and they have improved it. I'll send you a link to it if you want to go check it out. Labs, I think it's .io. That is one of the best voiceover tools, in my opinion, out there. It was one of the first, and they have improved it over and over. And all it needs is about maybe 2 to 3 minutes of your voice, and it can record it for you, and you can do your own podcast and all of that. And that's going to be part of my presentation. Actually, the podcast one is going to be I'm going to probably do those like on a Monday or something like that, because I want that to be a 2-part series where I show you how to set it up, configure it. And then there's an AI tool that can actually edit it and all of that for you. So, but 11 Labs is that voice cloning software. Again, it's, to me, the number one. It is very high rated. To my techies, do your research. You'll see that 11 Labs is pretty high rated. Sorry. Anyone else? What? So no, I can't. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, even though I was late, very, very late, even just hearing just the little bit I heard in terms of, how far I can go with the prompting has really, really helped me. I certainly still want to learn, I thought you were getting ready to do the video. I want to learn how I can create video. I've even seen people create pictures, and I want to learn how to do the flyers, and you said the voiceovers. And then I wanted to find out about how to take sessions and then create notes from things that, I might have heard, or, I might be in a meeting and then want to create notes from that meeting.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm going to do when I send you guys the survey, it'll be an opportunity to tell me what you want. And so what I will do then, I will do something every month. These are going to be monthly on the second Saturday, but I will do pop-ups on specific topics. Like I am going to do a deep dive in Notebook LM, because that is an amazing tool that I don't want nobody to be left without. So that's coming. Some of this stuff is going to happen probably before the end of the month. So I will let you guys know that. And then where you can't catch it, it will always be on my YouTube channel where you can follow up with it. So, and to all what you said, yeah, there are prompts to extract from meetings. Well, what were the top subjects? What were the questions that were answered? What were the questions that weren't answered? You can prompt that based off of the transcript. So for those of you all don't know, anything you put on YouTube, if you upload something to YouTube, YouTube automatically creates a transcript of it. So you can download or text in Notebook LM. You can take the link from a YouTube video and say if you're trying to get, meeting notes, or if there was an event that went on, or like I showed y'all Miles Monroe topic where he talked about thinking positive, and I wanted to extract the information from that. Take that YouTube link, put it in Notebook LM. It'll read through the transcription, and then you can ask it and you can extract all the information. That's why I love Notebook LM. It's amazing. But that deep dive is coming really soon. But that one, the website and the podcast, those are the top 3 on my agenda.
Got a question for you, Dr. Robinson. Do you have the paid version, or do you just use the free version of Notebook LM?
Well, I have the paid version, but what I just demonstrated was the free version. Honestly, I have the paid version because I have the Google Drive subscription, so you get the paid version with it. But honestly, outside of more sources, I haven't seen a big difference yet. So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, don't pay for nothing just yet. And unless you become users, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but like I'm sure Fred pays for it, and if some of my other you guys, when you start becoming users really into it, then go ahead and pay for it. But if you're just still playing with it, stick with the free. And then if you want all the features, then absolutely. But I have the paid version only because I pay for Google Drive. So artist.io is a great voiceover generator. Okay, yeah. And and it's probably cheaper. So yeah, our friend just put something in there. Artist.io is a great voiceover generator as well. Check them out. And 2, find a tool, and especially if you're just getting started, find a tool and use it, stick with it, and then you can grow into something else, because so much comes out and you will be overwhelmed. And well, which one do I use? Find a tool, get in the habit of using it, learn the skill. And then if you want to be nerdy like me and be like, ooh, squirrel, let me try that. Ooh, squirrel, then fine. But if other than that, it will get overwhelmed. So just some ideas for that. And anything else?
I saw some AI, I think it was AI, or maybe it's just an app or something. It says there's an AI for that.
There's I think there's that's actually a newsletter I subscribe to called There's an AI. Yeah, where they basically it's a list of AI tools. And I can send you guys that link. There's a website that got list. You can search for something, it can tell you AI tools that can do that. I definitely have no problem. Again, what I want y'all to is if you say you enjoyed this, that means a lot and I appreciate it. But I want you to walk away using it. I don't want paralysis to happen because it's like, oh my God, where do I start? So get started with ChatGPT. I will send you guys all the prompts that I even didn't use. And I'll send that out. You'll get that between the next 24 hours. And you start playing with that. And then when you do the test, the reviews, let me know what you want. I already told you the 3 things I'm going to focus on. Notebook LM, building a website with AI, and podcasting. But if there's something particular you want, I'll put together a session, no charge, because it's important that we learn how to use this.
I agree, because we always the ones who last ones on the bandwagon, and the wagon has already pulled off.
Yeah. And now here's a shameless plug. If you know an organization or company that could use my services, I love to come and speak. And, then yes, now there's my shameless plug. Recommend me to your people, but I will not stop doing this because I don't want us left behind.